Piscopo in the morning, 826. Roger Stone, New York Times bestselling author, longtime political consultant, longtime advisor to Donald J. Trump, kind enough to join us. In much demand, but kind enough to take time this morning on AM 970, The Answer with Piscopo, to jump on the air. Roger Stone, with great pride, I say welcome back to the show, sir.
Great to be here, Joe.
We had a great time. Thank you. And just we unveil, go behind the curtain, and we're very honest organically on the show. Roger was kind enough to listen to old Joe, and you are you know everyone, Roger. You know everyone. Everybody talks to you, and so they go, oh, they want you to run for governor, Joe. They want you to governor. Who do I sit down? 5 Boroughs goes sit down with Roger Stone. What a great afternoon, Roger. Thank you for that, man.
That was fun, and Joe, I hope you do it. You know, we need men like you, men and women like you, to step forward and be citizen politicians, not career politicians, but like Ronald Reagan, citizen politicians.
I love that. I love that. Thank you, Roger. It was just so much fun. I appreciate your hospitality and your friendship, indeed. Hey, Roger, too, before we go to what's happening in Hillary, and could you tell us quickly, because I kind of teased the audience a little bit about that, about Nixon. You were there. You were 19 years old, and then the debate story you had when John Kennedy was there. Could you give us a quick synopsis of that? That was so fascinating.
Sure. After Labor Day in 1960, Richard Nixon bumped his knee on a car door, and he got a staph infection. He was in the hospital for 2 weeks on antibiotics. He came out of the hospital 15 pounds underweight, still running a fever, still on antibiotics. He does 5 rallies, 5 speeches on his way to Chicago. Meanwhile, John Kennedy gets to Chicago early, spends the day on the roof of his hotel with 2 hookers. Gets an unbelievable tan. They go to the debate, and they have like the weigh-in, the lighting check.
Yeah.
And the CBS functionary says to Senator Kennedy, will you be using makeup? And he says, no makeup for me. Nixon, of course, hears this. Then the guy says, Mr. Vice President, will you be using makeup? Nixon says, no makeup for me. Whereupon Kennedy goes to his dressing room where his private makeup man, who'd been flown in from New York, makes him up.
Wow.
Nixon's guys say, Mr. Vice President, you look terrible. You've got to have makeup. He says, all right, well, you can do something to kind of, soften my beard. So they run out and they get a product called Shave Stick.
I remember that. Oh, my gosh, yeah.
Anyway, the debate does not go well. Nixon begins to sweat. Slowly, he begins to sweat through the makeup, starts streaking down his face. It's a disaster. Mayor Daley, watching it on TV in Chicago, says, oh, my God, he's not dead yet, and they've already embalmed him.
That's great. But on the radio, though, if you listen to Nixon-Kennedy debate on the radio, Nixon virtually won, Roger, correct?
Those who heard it on the radio thought Nixon won. Here's the punchline. There wasn't one debate. There were 4. Oh. And Nixon won the last 3, and the 4th one had the largest television audience. Had a television audience that was just slightly smaller than the first one. That gets lost in the retelling.
Had no idea.
He closed very fast in the 1960 election. The momentum in the final week was not with Kennedy; it was with Nixon. That's why Nixon believed that he won. I also believe that he won, because there was rampant voter fraud in Lyndon Johnson's Texas and, of course, Illinois.
Yeah, amazing. Roger Stone with Joe Piscopo. So how do you think Hillary will do with all of her problems against Donald J. Trump, Roger Stone?
I'm going to send her some beard stick.
You're the worst, man.
No,
listen, Roger, seriously, what's going on with Hillary? Why are they giving her a free pass, Roger? You see through all of this. On the plane, she was sedated. And I don't say anything with hate or animus. But I'm watching this poor gal in Hillary Clinton. Am I wrong, Roger? She was sedated on that airplane.
Yeah, she doesn't look well to me, to any objective person who will look at the situation. And if I were her, I'd be concerned, because Trump is a clutch player. I mean, Trump is a guy who always performs when the pressure's on. Yeah. And he's loose, and he can float like a butterfly and sting like a bee. And he's got a wealth of places where he can go in terms of her vulnerability. God knows where he might go. Is it Benghazi? Is it the emails? Is it the furniture and the china she stole when she left the White House? Is it the cover up of Bill's sex exploits? Who knows? You never know where Trump is going to go. But I think he's ready. People say, well, is he preparing? Well, not like the politicians prepare. You mean like with a stand-in practice? That's not Trump. It's just not Trump. The guy's very loose, very impromptu, very genuine, very authentic. It's not all contrived and practiced and memorized,
And I hope you don't mind, Roger Stone, but when we were together, and then you had a long, long night, and in the middle of the night, you told me, and I hope I'm not breaking confidences here, Roger, you spoke with Donald Trump, but it was like 3 a.m, you told me?
Yeah, he is very nocturnal. This guy gets very little sleep. He requires very little sleep. He is on the phone, calling around the country to friends, talking to people. He'll call you. You don't call him at 3 o'clock in the morning, of course. Sometimes he'll call you. 3 o'clock's a little bit of an exaggeration, but 1:30, 1:30, he's still up and he's still working.
Just amazing. And listen, you've written books attacking both the Bush family and the Clintons, Roger Stone. What do you think of the reports that George H.W. Bush is voting for Hillary Clinton?
This is not surprising. The Bushes and the Clintons, I call it the Bush-Clinton crime syndicate. The truth is that they both share the same elitist politics. Their joint Haiti Earthquake Relief Fund, the Bush-Clinton Joint Earthquake Relief Fund, is a scam where they raised $138 million, spent $9 million in Haiti, pocketed the rest. You know what, Joe? They deserve each other. America needs something different. It's the Bushes and the Clintons, the Republicans and the Democrats working together who have brought this country to its knees.
Yeah, it's well said, Roger Stone. 8:33 with Piscopo in the morning with Roger Stone. And what Hillary, she canceled this huge press event in North Carolina. Can you imagine, Roger, if Donald Trump did that?
Well, and ironically, she does so at a time when Donald Trump has pulled ahead in North Carolina by a point. This is pivotal because North Carolina is must-carry for Trump. His path to 270 electoral votes is very nuanced. Nixon understood this. Don't look at the national polls; they're meaningless. You got to get to 270, and there's a number of combinations that allow you to do that. But pretty much, you must have Florida, must have Ohio, must have North Carolina, must have Iowa, and I think, and then Pennsylvania is going to be the big enchilada.
What do you think, and what's your instinct telling you, Roger Stone?
Well, I think Trump has an appeal in western Pennsylvania among Union Democrats that no Republican, not Mitt Romney, not John McCain, none of these guys have had. And frankly, I think that he's going to take it all. I've said that now for about 2 weeks. I feel really good about the direction of the campaign and his performance on the stump.
And you think, before we let you go, Roger, always appreciate your valuable time, sir, that Donald Trump could make New Jersey and New York competitive?
Definitely. I think those things happen late. They break late, but he's leaving nothing on the table. He's competing everywhere, and, of course, he loves this area. This is where he's born and grew up. And I think, New Jersey may well be doable. New York's tough, but nothing's impossible, and he's a New Yorker. He's the quintessential New Yorker. So I think they're both in play.
Roger Stone, legendary Roger Stone. Roger, we appreciate it, and thanks for that afternoon, man. Because you know what, Roger, I couldn't afford you, man. If I had to hire you, you're such a big shot. So the fact that we took the time in the afternoon and you had those fascinating stories about so historic and so fascinating. We appreciate you joining us always, Roger.
Well, Joe, you paid for the pasta, so it was excellent. Excellent.
It was good, wasn't it? And then the person that came right next to us, who was that lady staring at us the whole time, Roger? Was that a friend?
She was a spy for Hillary Clinton, I think.
What was that? Roger Stone, man, we love you, appreciate it, and come back again, please.
Great to be here. Many thanks, Joe.
Thank you, Roger. 8:36. Roger and I went to Angelo Vivolo's restaurant, 74th in Lexington. Great restaurant. I had the bronzino, and I think Roger had Zilla pasta, and it was to die for. Vivolo, you must go. So we go in, and we go into a back room. Angelo puts Roger and I in the back room, and Frankie Five Boroughs sets it up. So I'm gonna have a political meeting with Roger Stone, and I'm gonna work and pick the brain of this great political giant. Right? I'm going. So some lady walks in, she sits like the next table and staring at us the whole time. And then she's on the phone. And Roger and I just shook our heads. Only in New York. But like you said, maybe it was a spy for Hillary. 8:37 with Joe Piscopo. Hey, Kevin Jackson is coming on. You do not want to miss Mr. Jackson, this brilliant young man with Piscopo in the morning right here on AM 970 The Answer. Al Gattulo standing by. All the headline news on AM970theanswer.com.